What is up, guys? Nick here today, and welcome to my video on safe spot slash flinching guide, I guess we'll call it. So I'll be doing that on my pure. I've got over 300 kill count. This is how I've been doing it in all of my progress videos. You'll be using a self-enchanted amulet with a Vigorous Chain Mace, a Tyrannical Ring imbued is what I throw on, and then the Fire Cape as well. For your teleport, it can be a Glory. If you're a main account, using the Royal Seed Pod's a good one because it's a one-click teleport. I'm pretty lazy with it, so I use 8 prayer pots and 2 super restores as I leave protect melee on the entire time I'm there. I bring 8 food with an anglerfish and then some brews as well. So that's kind of my gear setup. If you're a main account, bringing Initiate or Proselyte or any type of prayer armor, you could even use the monk robes or like 100 GP for the full set or some shit. But the way you're going to get out there, you're going to want to teleport out to the Corp Cave. I have it in my house. If you need a games necklace, then just bring it in your inventory. I always bring a looting bag with me whenever I'm doing wilderness bosses. I don't just bank after an inventory worth of loot. I just kind of keep it there, and if I die with it, well, we should have been better at escaping. So, yeah, this is going to be a quick run through. You can get quite a good amount of loot from here, too. The Grimy Renars are like a 1 mil drop. And the Ring of the Gods is 19.2 mil at the time of making this, and the D-Pick is 5.6 mil. So it's really solid. I've gotten so many D2H drops. I think I've gotten 5 in my 300 something kills. It's kind of nuts. So you're going to want to mark these tiles. You're going to run straight north, and you're going to come to this pile of rocks. There's like a corner here. When you stand in it, you'll be facing this pile. You're going to want to mark this by holding shift and then right clicking. You're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares east and 1 square south, and mark this square right here. And then you're going to mark the square 2 steps over to the east from there. This is where you're going to be actually attacking the boss, and I'll show you when we get into that. Next, you're going to mark this square over above all of these trees. It's right next to the stump. That's where you're going to pull the boss down to. You're going to stand here, and then we go to the little corner rock pile square. So this line up here is when he can first attack you. I just marked a random tile up here, but you can see that little nipple looking ass spot right there. You could just mark it. It's like 3 squares north of there, just anywhere over there for the boss to aggro you. So once he starts attacking you and he follows you in, you're going to get him to that square by the stump, and then you're going to stand right at this square until his foot, I'm going to highlight the square right here. You're going to see it real quick right here. When you see his toe touch that square, that's when you're going to go in. So it's the square 2 north of the far east one we marked. And now you're going to Divine Potion up. You're going to attack and immediately step onto this square. Right now you're going to do 2 attacks, and then you're going to go back to the original square. So click and right over. If you take too long, he will immediately move out of that safe spot, and he'll continue attacking you. And you're going to have to lure him all the way east again and pull him back into that spot. So where I'm standing right now is actually in 30 Wilderness. You can use your one-click teleport out if there's PKers, or you can use your Glory. Probably by the time you use your Glory, you're probably dead. So I just bring it for the convenience of leaving. Sometimes people don't PK here with TBs. They just come in with Ice Barrage, and it's not too bad. But this is probably the longest part of the kill. The Vigorous Chain Mace hits so insanely high. On a pure account, I get 75k Strength XP an hour, which is absolutely nuts. On a main account, you probably hit a lot more consistently. You don't just have 60 attack, and you can probably get 80 to 90k XP an hour. That's my guess. I don't know if you really need the XP at that point, but you can. So you're going to continue doing this for basically the entire kill. You're just going to attack once, go over, attack it twice, and then when the Hellhounds spawn, you're going to pull them back, kill them, and then continue the process. There's 2 situations I'm going to show you guys after this that can be kind of problematic, especially while you're learning how to lure it, and if you're losing count of how many times you're attacking it, it can actually walk backwards and out of the safe spot where you're going to have to re-lure it. And so I'll show you that, and also if you're here for more than 10 to 15 minutes without running out of this little area, the Hellhounds themselves are actually going to lose aggro to you. And so I'll show you guys what that looks like. They kind of just stand there and fuck around and don't do anything. And then you have to go up into melee range with the boss. And then he's just going to do damage, eventually pull himself out of the safe spot, and you'll have to reload. So preventing that and running like way west or way east after a kill will help you a lot. If you're, doing 5, 6, 7 kill trips, it'll help you out a lot. So I'll also be doing the guides for all wilderness bosses and some other guides for the pure accounts as well. So like Bandos, Zami, Saradomin. I'll be making separate guides for all the bosses for that. I just did one on the Nightmare of Ashihama, so check that out if you haven't. So if you plan on watching more of the wilderness guides or doing more like wilderness bossing and kind of learning all the lure spots and safe spots and stuff, drop a like, subscribe. I'll be uploading those hopefully within the week. I work 30 hours over the next 2 days and worked 6 out of the last 7 days, all 12-hour shifts. So I'm kind of feeling like a zombie, but so that was the full kill. I'll show those scenarios now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. I always answer the comments and I'm always looking for them. So I'll be able to get you set up and figure out what was going on. So in this spot, I'm going to show you guys purposely what happens if you attack it from more than 2 attacks from the square and how to fix it. So that was 3 attacks and he stepped 1 step right out of the safe spot and whacked me a 45. You're going to run straight into these trees, don't mind me typing, right into the trees and just pull him back towards that original square. You want to eat up because he can hit you with that melee attack right again. And go back to the square just like you would every other kill. Go down south and that'll re-pull him back into the safe spot. If you're finding yourself doing this more often than not, just slow down, count while you're hitting. It can actually do this when it switches between the first phase and the second phase. It can push itself backwards and start walking towards its spawn, which is really odd. I don't know what causes it or if there is a cause for it, but yeah, just remember to get it back on you, walk it back east, and relure it like you do every other kill. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when the Hellhounds are out of aggro. I was kind of telling you earlier, they look lost and they kind of just stand there. So once you get it past the 128, the first half XP or first half of its hit points, look at them. They kind of just stand there. This one's looking to the north for Jon Snow, realizing that Game of Thrones kind of fucked up the whole series and kind of leaving us lost like his buddy over here. It's looking west like, God damn it, this is where the world ends. Nothing left to do here. And so you're just going to attack the one. He gets stuck behind the boss up there. So you just take a few steps, whether it's east or west. Once you're below the line where you have the squares marked, they can't attack you. Like, the boss won't run away from you anyway. So it's fine. You can just kind of pull him to where you need it. Alright, this is going to be the last kill of the 1 hour that I'm going to do just to kind of, test it for the video and tell you guys how much supplies I've used for a Rune 2H. So I got 15 kills in that hour. I did take out the time, as you can see down at the bottom. It's an hour and 6 minutes, but about 6 minutes or so of that time was me kind of explaining how everything's done. And so I'm just going to pull out the loot and I'll show you guys how much we made and how many supplies we used. Okay, so after the hour we actually got pretty unlucky on drops. And yes, I ate 1 dark crab, so you're just going to add on 1.4k on that. But we got pretty unlucky drop-wise. Obviously, you can get, D picks, you can get the D2H, and of course the Ring of the Gods, which is like, I don't know, let's see how much it is. 19.2 mil, so you can get that as well. So we ended up getting like 600 something K, and we also only used, well, I use a lot of prayer. I keep it on, I'm pretty lazy with it. So we used 487K. Total gain of like 120k or something like that. And then for the XP an hour, I got like 75k XP an hour. Of course, I included like the 6 extra minutes, but for strength wise, getting 75k XP an hour doing a boss is pretty crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, how else, if you have any questions and you're getting confused with the guide, let me know and I'll answer them for you. Look out for some other guides coming. I'll have a Callisto luring and safe spotting guide. I'll probably do Venenatis as well when I can afford a crossbow. And then I'll be doing Abyssal Sire. We'll do Dusk and Dawn and the God Wars dungeon bosses as well for pure. So if you guys have any recommendations, what other guides you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching and peace out.